What's going on, Tiger fan? West Pruitt, four-star sports media. You are sitting down at the Tigers Den where it's all Memphis all the time. Don't worry, I'm not alone. I've got John started in here. He was at the basketball game today as Memphis fell to UNLV as they got run out of the FedEx Forum. But we're going to start with what's on tap, presented to you by Athletic Brewing Company for a incredible non-alcoholic beer where you get a incredible effect. You get incredible taste without the lasting effect. Head over to Athletic Brewing as you can get a multitude of beers there as they have beers. I've got a new beer that's more of a like a rave kind of beer, very popular beer. But head over there now, Athletic Brewing. They present what's on tap, where we go over the show. We've got women's volleyball tonight. We've got women's soccer. We've got women's hoops. We've got softball news. We've got rifle, and then we've got football, and we'll close with men's basketball. Got John started in here. I don't know where he went. He's off screen for those of you that happen to be watching. Thank you to everyone watching and listening. If you are listening and you enjoy what you are seeing and hearing, feel free to subscribe, tell a friend about the coverage. It's more than just Memphis coverage here as Four-Star Sports Media. We cover a multitude of sports, conferences, leagues, and more. But John, welcome in, man. Let's start with women's volleyball, John, as they got a season finale win on the road at East Carolina. I tell you what, there was a lot of Memphis action out in Greenville as the Tigers went on the road and won in 4 sets. So this afternoon inside Williams Arena, finished the regular season with a win. John, they finished 11-20, 2-14 in the first year. This marks the first conference win for the Tigers since September 26th at Tulane. It also marks the first win since August 16th. Big time win to close the season, John. Opening year, brand new coach, brand new team. It's kind of a trend across Memphis campus. But what's your thoughts on a big win for head coach Sherry Lindsay, former guest of ours here at Four Star Sports Media?
Yeah, it's been up and down here all season long, but you brought up the 2-14 conference record, but I don't think it's just a big disappointment this year. I think it's because the injuries happened early on in the season, then during the year. And then, of course, a lot of new faces on that roster, too. So, yeah, the 11 wins is a disappointment in a way, but I think it's something to build on for the years to come. And she's just going to get her feet wet. She brought up a good point. Recruiting is her number one priority in the state of Tennessee in the off season and in this season in general. And I think she's the right person for that job as we speak.
I agree. I agree. Big time win. Speaking of right person for the job, that's head coach Brooks Monaghan, and the women's soccer team is the number 7 ranked Tigers knocked off Illinois 2-1 to advance to the NCAA second round as they got a big win last night, Saturday night. It was a packed house at the track and soccer stadium as 1,801 fans went out there to support the Tigers for the final time at home this year. By the way, John, as crazy as that sounds, Memphis is 17-0-3, 9-1 in conference play, and they will not play anymore at home this year. That's a 39th consecutive.
Yeah, to Wes's point, the 1,000 attendance in the crowd was probably the second largest all season long, other than the Tennessee game. Yeah, you get the 7th seed in that draw that you get by the NCAA tournament. A lot of people saying, well, they underseeded them, whatnot. But just the way upsets have happened in this NCAA tournament regional so far, you never really know what could happen in the NCAA tournament in soccer. Just think about it. Your Mississippi State, your Tennessee, just Ole Miss, Georgia, just to name a few in the SEC. Upsets can happen in this NCAA tournament. And I do like our chances going to Dallas Fort Worth against a good quality TCU team. But I was saying before we had a little bit of technical issues that this soccer team has faced their second largest white crowd of the season there Saturday night too. And it's good to see it pack it out again at a standing room crowd of a 1,000 amount crowd like you brought up. But man, this NCAA soccer regional, I think this soccer regional this year in general across the board at NCAA is one of the best ones that we've seen the last 2 days in college women's soccer that we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know when you lost me there. I apologize. My internet just decided they wanted to wig out. But 1,800 fans, man, big time win. They outshot the Fighting Illini 17-6, and they had 11 corner kicks to the visitors 4 in that win. Big time win. You talked about it, John. Heading over to the second round for the fifth time ever 2020, 2011, 2021, 22, 23, and 25. They're set to visit TCU Thursday night, 7 p.m. We'll be back on Thursday for more information on that. John, as we go to women's hoops, as the Lady Tigers, whatever you want to call them, Memphis women's basketball, they were defeated by Ball State 83-59 on Saturday afternoon at El Marone Fieldhouse. Che Harris would lead the Tigers in scoring for the third time this season as she scored 20 points. Corey Allen added a season high 14 and 5 rebounds. Ball State moved to 4-0 on the year behind its third road victory. Impressive for Ball State. They shot 10 of 26 deep from deep, John, and won the rebounding battle 62-36. Tigers moved to 2-2 ahead of Tuesday night's game against number 13 Ole Miss. John, ugly loss for Memphis. I'm not saying ugly as far as, maybe they shouldn't have lost the game. I'm saying ugly as far as the results. You get out rebounded by nearly 30 rebounds. It's tough, man. Tigers were like I said, back at home, uh, ESPN Plus Tuesday night. But John, I
Let's just
mean,
be real. First
I'm
quarter, bro, is different.
be
That's
harsh
the
here. I'm
time.
trying. I'm trying not to be harsh. I promise I am.
I mean, everybody can speak their own opinion. Let's just say that. So let's just go with it, man. Because if somebody can criticize a football coach, somebody else can criticize a women's basketball coach. The way I look at it in media. So the way I look at it right now, 28-13 after the first quarter. You brought up Ball State. Ball State's got some younger classmen that were international players in high school. Just dominated that game from the get go. But only going to the free throw line 12 times to me is a concern. Not driving the ball to the basket enough. Then of course you brought up the rebounds, man. Like kind of reminded me of that Arkansas Pine Bluff game where Arkansas Pine Bluff had like 60 plus rebounds for that game. It felt like, and you brought up the turnovers. Yeah, you convinced Ball State to have 24 to your 19, but the points in the paint 30-26, Ball State. And then, like you said, you got Ole Miss coming to town. Coach Yo and company and the Ole Miss Rebels, a Sweet 16 Elite 8 team from like a couple years ago, and they got the guards, they got the post, you name it. And I hate to say this, but it could get ugly Tuesday night.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I think it will. I think it will get ugly. Um, I really hope I didn't just lose John again. The last time that happened, my internet decided to go out. Okay, no, okay, my internet's good. All right, let's go over to softball real quick. As the Memphis softball head coach Trina Prater announced, 9 softball student athletes have signed to play for the Tigers starting in the 2027 season. The class of nine spans 6 states and includes multiple connections. She would say, quote, overall, this 2026 recruiting class is packed with a lot of speed and two-way impact players. End quote. She would go on to say, quote, they will come in and make an instant impact for us to be a championship contending team. Mm, okay. I'm sorry. I just want to let that marinate for a second there. Okay. All right. She came over here to Arkansas, went to Texarkana, got a short stop from Arkansas High School, went to, made some impressive moves, man. I like I like the high school moves that Prater is making. John, what's your thoughts on bringing in some players that have talent, youth, and I mean, I've got notes here, but I mean, she gives detailed thoughts on each one of these players, which tells me that she's gone in and done her due diligence on each one of these players.
I mean, the whole staff in general has gone from Florida to Louisiana to Tennessee to all over the Southeast and done a great job recruiting not only nationally but also in the Southeast. And I feel like the Southeast talent in high school softball is second to none. And if you can somehow get some Middle Tennessee and some East Tennessee players from across the neighborhood schools in the future, next couple of years, I think you'll be okay as well. But I think the recruiting point of it, like you brought up, man, she's doing a great job. Her and her staff are doing a good job.
I tell you what, they're active and they're letting you know that they're active. If you follow the social media for Memphis softball, they're promoting themselves out there as being an act, across the country for sure. So, did you hear that, John?
Yeah. They're
Okay.
promoting
Well,
where they're going.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm saying, did you hear the whistle?
It's halftime.
Okay, it is. It is. So we're gonna take a quick break. All mics will be muted, but we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we're gonna talk Tiger football as we got some answers to some questions that we have. We've answered our own questions, and then we have some questions that we'll be asking as well. All that and more right here on the Tigers Den, presented to you by 4 Star Sports Media.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Welcome back, folks. Welcome, man, John. As we jump over to football for the Tigers, uh, it says on the screen there, does Silverfield need to make changes? I know a lot of people are asking, does Memphis need to make changes for Silverfield? We'll get to that in a minute. Um, we'll just let that little comment marinate for a second. But Tigers fall 31-27 to East Carolina, and I want to stop there because if you know anything about Memphis football, if you followed Memphis football, or if you know anything, you know this is not the first time this has happened. Memphis now trails this series 18-8 all time, and they've only won 2 games out of the last 12 played. Now, yes, Mike Norvell won both those games. But if you look at East Carolina has not been a bad football team in some time. At one time they were. It's been some time. You look at the job that Blake Harrell's done. You look at the job he did last year as interim. They made him head coach, and rightfully so. And now you look at him now. His team's sniffing an American Athletic Conference championship. But tough road game. I mean, John, I don't want to say I told you so, but in June, I told you. We talked about it. And what game did I say was the one that worried me on this schedule? No other game on this schedule worried me as much as which game?
The Pirates of East Carolina.
Exactly. The road trip to Greenville to East Carolina. And you know why? Because I understood that Memphis does not play well there. They were 9-3 entering yet last night's game. They're now 10-3. East Carolina has won 10 out of the last 12, as I stated. 457 yards of offense, balanced attack for Memphis. Brennan Lewis hobbling around, threw for 209. But offensively for Memphis, there was not the big play from the passing attack. It was from the rushing attack. You had Sutton Smith, over 100 yards. One of those was an 84-yarder, 109 yards, and a touchdown, 7 carries. We'll get to that in just a second. But passing-wise, yes, great job by Brennan Lewis. Incredible job. But there was no deep gash plays, which is what we've seen from this Memphis team all season long. But more importantly, there was no point scored in the first quarter, which has not happened all year. John, when you look at this team offensively through the air, okay, I want to break this down through and then on the ground, okay, from offensive perspective.
Mhm.
Through the air, you look at the numbers, great. Bram didn't have his normal game. Yes, he did spread the ball around the field. He threw to 12, 13 different receivers. Impressive, right? But Memphis drops back-to-back games for the first time since 2022. That season, they lost the final 4. Well, they lost 4 between October 7th and November 5th. But John, offensively, I've got to see that's part of this offense. That's what makes this offense so dangerous.
Mhm.
And when it's not there, this is what happens. What's your thoughts?
We talked about this after the South Florida game, if I'm not mistaken. We gave up. Well, we talked about it after the Tulane game. I apologize, but first and second down were the key going into this game. Second down and 10, you give up 20 yards. You give up 18 yards. Then on top of that, you give up a 15-yard run maybe at times too, and the list goes on and on. I mean, Lewis can only do so much hurt, right? I gotta give him a lot of credit for fighting through whatever he's battling right now, but I'm not liking what I'm seeing right now because I don't want him to get even worse hit. You brought up during the game yesterday, man. Like he took it back. He took it one hit where he had to come out after a game or after a play, and then Maiden comes in and throws that deep ball where he barely overthrew him. But where's this three quarterback talk that Ryan Silverfield brought up early in the week? Why not put three quarterbacks out there and throw somebody off? Because AJ Hill did a pretty good job against UAB. Maiden can do whatever he can. So why not do a three quarterback? Why not do some trick plays for other quarterbacks? Got the talent. Or why not put a receiver like Barham at Wildcat and see what he can do out of the Wildcat? I'm just second and goal. I mean, the play call right before half, where you had it 1st and 10, and then you got to rely on that field goal right before half, where you pass, and then kick the field goal. You still had 2 timeouts. That's where I'm not happy about the play calling in that first half either, because Lewis went from 18 to 23 to like 18 to 26, I believe, at half. I mean, yeah, your offense did everything in their power, which we'll talk about their defense in here in a little bit, but man, like, it's just these play calls are kind of just shaking my head a little bit. 3rd and goal or 3rd and 1, you're in shotgun. I know everybody does it this day in college football, but come on, you gotta get that yard.
Yeah, I mean, my questions. I mean, my play calling really came into question into the game. I mean, you've got what, 2 timeouts at that point in time, 1 timeout,
Mm-hmm.
and you let close to 30 seconds run off that clock. When at the end of the game, you got 30 seconds, you can make some things happen, but you can't make some things happen if your quarterback's on the left hash and he's throwing a ball all the way across the field to the right hash on an out route. That pass alone takes 3-4 seconds to get to the receiver, not including what he's got to do to go from there. But I mean, the play calling towards the end, and I mean, here's the thing: I'm not in the huddle, okay? I don't know. I mean, is it play calls or is it execution? Right? Like maybe it was a perfect play call and just bad execution. I don't know. I'm not there. I mean, I'm not. In the in the headset. But what I do know is that I feel like that there was, I believe, based on film study, and I've gone back and watched the game multiple times now. The play calls were very questionable, and it's like where did they come from? They weren't there the entire game, and then the game's on the line, and it's like everybody just gets tight. But it's nothing that we haven't seen from Memphis before against East Carolina. So anybody that wants to say, "Oh, that loss is just inexcusable," I mean, did you not realize that coming into the game they had done it 17 other times? I mean, John, you know what I mean when I say that,
Yeah,
John? I mean, it's like everybody wants to jump on the loss. I get it, but it's not. We've seen this 17 of they've lost 18 damn times.
yes, it's devastating, but looking at, like you said, the history alone in that place is like a jungle. When you got 50,000 seat stadium and you got 42,000 in probably attendance for that game alone, that's Memphis' Super Bowl for East Carolina every year. They're ready to compete against the Memphis. I mean, like you brought up, man, this ain't the same East Carolina like it used to be back in the day. They have some great NFL players history in that school too, so I might add that. Chris Johnson, former Titan running back. They've also had some great coaches go through that program. Yeah, they might have let 2 of them go that were decent coaches. I'm not going to name them on air. People can do their research on that. But yeah, it's a devastating loss. It's a bad loss, but your goal is still intact to win 10 wins this year in general. People just need to be happy with that, but they're not because they want to go to the conference championship. I get that. But man, I want to talk about the defense. I'm sorry, but I want to talk about the defense. I really do. Because I thought the
Well,
offense did everything
great
in their power.
segue. Incredible segue right there because that's what I'm going to now.
Yeah.
Speaking of the attendance, John, 37,348. 37,000 people. That place was rocking, man. That place was lit up. East Carolina ran 72 plays offensively in the game. I went through and broke it down quarter by quarter. In the first quarter, John, because I wanted to see, because watching the game live, it felt like to me there was no pressure on East Carolina's quarterback at all. And you look at the stats, it tells that too. There was only one quarterback carried 2 sacks. Out of the 20 plays ran in the first quarter by the Pirates, there was 11 forms of pressure, blitzes, whatever you want to call it. 11 plays, there was some form of pressure out of the 20. Okay, second quarter, 14 out of the 22. Third quarter, 12 of the 17. Fourth quarter, 7 of, and on the final drive, you only sent pressure twice. That's where I want to get to. That's where I want to start at. So have fun with this one, John. Why on the final drive of the game are you only sending pressure twice? Yes, you sent pressure 61% of the game. Okay, yes. You can't say that, you can't say Memphis didn't send the pressure, but what you can say is that Memphis didn't get the pressure, did not get there. But to only send pressure twice on the final drive of that game, based on what I've seen, based on what I've gone back and watched, I question it. I question it. The first drive of the game, they sent pressure on 5 plays. The final drive of the game, 2. That's the difference in the game. He had all day to sit back there and pick this team apart. And that's what he did. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, 2 of the 6 plays on that final drive. I've said it. I know people might be tired of it, but this 3 down lineman, I know you got a 4th guy coming up as linebacker and standing up, but do what has helped you in victories in the second half. South Florida game, you had 4 down linemen. Arkansas, you had 4 down linemen. Do what is working for you in these comeback wins. And I know we talked about this yesterday too, man, but you don't see that many defensive backs or safeties or whatever come up and then try to blitz from the corner and try to go off tackle and get the quarterback. Yeah, you might see it at times, but you don't see it very often like other teams have done to a program at like Tulane, for example, did a great job doing that. South Florida did a great job doing that in the first half against Memphis. But Memphis barely even uses that, I feel like, to their advantage. And also another thing that really ticks me off, your All-American, first team All-American, William Whitlow, is on the bench on a 3rd down and 10. Next thing you know, East Carolina gets a 15-yard pass downfield. Next thing you know, William Whitlow has to come back out there, but gets a reset of downs. William Whitlow needs to be on the field on 3rd downs. He's the one that can put pressure on the quarterback than anybody on his team. And then, like you said on that final drive, man, like, why are you not playing 3 or 4 players deep? Like, maybe have to put them at the, 15-yard line because they have beat you on the deep ball all game long. And turn the freak around. I'm tired of seeing, oh, I'm going to face guard a guy and then taking a chance to get a pass interference call or a holding call. Turn the freak around. This ain't no middle school football anymore. You're old enough to figure out this ain't age in college football. You got to turn around in college football. Yeah, other teams do it, but Memphis is by far the worst in the country regarding that. We have seen it year in, year out, man. That just irritates me the most regarding Memphis football and defense.
And I'll be honest with you, when it comes to turning it around, it doesn't matter who the defensive coordinator is.
Right.
I mean, seriously, this goes back to Joe Lee Dunn, Rip Shearer days. I mean, a lot of Memphis fans that are online complaining about Silverfield probably wasn't even born at that point in time. It's been happening for 30 years.
Another thing, like you brought up, man. Sorry. Another thing
it's an issue. Go ahead.
Another thing that irritates me is if a guy keeps on doing it, why is he still in the game? Yankees butt out like you did against Tulane, where you put somebody else out there. I'd love to have Kane Miller out there right now on defense and see how he can do. You don't trade from Tennessee to come back to Memphis for a reason, right?
Yeah.
The thing is,
I mean, at
what
this
I'm
point in
afraid of,
time,
yeah,
go
you
ahead.
got nothing to lose. He's on your depth
That,
chart
that's
for a reason.
that's
He's
gonna be
at
an
the
audio
or
clip that will
position
make
for a
clear.
reason, Wes. He's at the or position on the depth chart for a reason. Put his butt out there and see how he can do.
I agree. I mean, at this point in time, and look, people online will be like, "Oh, these guys are just saying throw whoever out there," and that's not what I'm saying, man. Look, what I am saying is this: uh, a couple things. Number one, I'm not saying I'm not happy having AJ Hill, okay, but all the money spent on him, possibly it could have got a couple of defensive backs that can stop somebody, or maybe a little bit of the money could have went to one of those guys, or a guy to make them, get maybe a elite player. And I'm not saying the players on the team are not good; they're good. Okay, I'm not. I mean, just I don't know if it's just scheme. I don't know if it's play calling. I don't know if it's execution. But honestly, I think it's a combination of everything. But you got a bye week, and I'm damn glad you do. Because you got to get everything right for Navy on Thanksgiving night. There's no doubt about it. You have to get everything right. Because you can go pee in somebody's Wheaties to close the season. You can go ruin a season, which is fun. That's good, right? And the other thing is, you win the game, that's 9 wins on the year. That's another year on Ryan Silverfield's contract. That's $25,000 raise. And that just irks people. That just makes people's skin crawl. And look, here's the thing. It's the question on the bottom of the screen for those of you watching says, does Silverfield need to make changes? And here's where I want to have this conversation, though all not long conversation, but the conversation. I think once season ends, he has to sit down with all of his staff. I'm saying from coordinator down to GA. And there has to be a conversation on, hey, why did these things happen? Because there's reasons these things have happened. You know what I'm saying? There's reasons. But defensively, I mean, he was heralded. The job he did in the bowl game, the job he did, last season was, you know, good. I'm not gonna say great. It was good, but I mean, you gotta. There has to be a conference championship coming up here sometime. If not, he's gonna get run out of town. Because at the end of the day, I mean, that's how you make the college football playoff.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. Now, everybody's gonna say, "Oh, come on, Wes. It's been 6 years. Oh my gosh, it's been so long." Okay, hold on. This is also the same coach that has had to maneuver the waters of NIL, maneuver the waters of COVID, and these are not excuses, by the way. Although a lot of people are going to say they are. But this year, you have 78 new players on your team. That's the most in the nation, by the way. It is the biggest turnover in the country for a football team. Plus, you are replacing a 4-year starter, which is what I said at the very beginning of the year. You can roll the tape back. You can go back to June. I said this is the most pivotal year for Memphis because they're the only team in the country replacing a 4-year starter. And this is the exact reason I said that right here. Because if there's a defensive issue, last year Seth Hennigan could play Memphis out of it. He could throw Memphis out of it. He could maneuver the offense out of it. I'm not saying Brennan Lewis cannot. What I am saying is it's just not built the same. There's not the continuity. There's not that trust factor that not only the coaches but the players had in the quarterback. But also, like I said then too, you're bringing in a new quarterback, John, new style. Injuries were going to happen, and here we are since UAB. This guy's continuously been banged up. I appreciate you know, the want to, the commitment, the desire. He wants to finish out his college career. I understand all that. But if you're not right, just in other ways. And then my opinion is this. You bring in Maiden. Because I just don't think, and I've watched a lot of Navy. I just don't think the freshman's ready for that. Because it's intense, John. That team comes at you from every freaking angle. Really, really, truly, offensively and defensively, to be honest with you. But, John, as we close, like I said, changes, sit down. He's going to make changes in the offseason. I think you may even see all new offensive and defensive coordinators, potentially, for Memphis. What's your thoughts, real quick, before we close up on men's hoops?
Yeah, man. I just think right now there might be some changes, but I just think, like you said, you just got to do a lot of interviews in the off season. But I think also you got to figure out more things on your team. Also, I just don't want to see a team quit on their coach with 2 games possible left in the regular season after 2 bad losses in the regular season with the loss to UAB and Tulane. Like you said, you don't want to have a Tubby Smith scenario where you run a coach out of a town that does everything the right way. They say he does everything the right way. But I'm talking about in general because think about it, that's the last thing that you had when you get Tubby Smith. You ran a Hall of Fame coach out of the building. And I'm afraid if the people out there keep on want to criticize Ryan, but be all friendly with them and all that after a game and take photos with them or even photos with the team and all that. You've seen it. People want to criticize players, and then it's going to affect their mental health, and
Oh,
then
it's
they're going to be like, it's everything, man. Like, let's just finish the year strong and see what happens. But to your point,
yeah,
I'm ready to talk hoops.
yeah. I mean, it's look. I don't want to say this season's not been a success because you've got 8 wins right now. That's not a non-successful season. And Eli Drinkwitz even said it this week, John. He said there's still
Mhm.
championships to be attained, and he's talking about bowl championships. So if the head coach at Missouri, which by the way, for those of y'all that aren't astute of college athletics, that team's in the SEC, which is one of the Power Four conferences. If they're saying that and they care about bowl games, then Memphis fans should too. That's just for those of you that 10-win seasons are irrelevant and bowl wins are irrelevant. It's just stupid. Anyway, let's jump over.
And go
Let's
look at
let's
the
close
bowl
up with men's.
buyouts
Who
too.
do what?
Say go look at the bowl buyouts too, and that too. Do some research. If you want to
Yeah,
criticize Birmingham, but go ahead and just bash it all you want. But go look at the payout for it.
yeah, I agree. I agree. All right, man. Let's talk hoops here.
Mm,
As on
mm,
the screen
mm,
there, it says,
mm.
"Is this Penny's worst team?" This is Penny's worst loss. This is Penny's. This is the worst loss Penny's had. It is the worst loss at home for Penny. It's the only other 14-point loss at home was under Tubby Smith inside FedEx Forum. So this is Penny's worst loss. Oh, and by the way, you have a full John. You were there. You have a full welcome back for Josh Pastner. Welcome back video. Love fest. Clap, clap, clap. Golly gee, he's back. Dr. Pepper, Diet Coke, and all.
No
And he
flashcards though.
outcoached you. He outcoached you. His team outworked you. His team just flat out outran you out of your own gym. And everybody in the country watched it.
Yeah,
First, I mean, if you go to 4star.live, I had a first half article out. It wasn't very long, but I mean, we saw Penny shake the lineup up a little bit as we saw Julius Thedford, Ashton Hardaway
thank
be
God for
placed in
Julius.
the lineup. Do what?
So thank God for Julius. But I'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah. We saw Curtis Givens start off hot and then completely die off. Sincere Parker came off the bench, played well. I think Sincere is a guy that needs to have the ball in his hands more often. And I don't mind him coming off the bench. I think he brings a spark off the bench. But this team lacks a prolific scorer. They lack somebody that can go put the ball in the hand. They lack somebody that when you give them the ball, they can go make a play. They lack what Penny Hardaway's had every year he's been in Memphis, and that's a prolific scorer and a go-to scorer, and it's got to be found pretty fast. What's your thoughts, John?
Okay. 92-78 lost to UNLV, Josh Pastner and the Running Rebels. This is a team that was ranked 200 and something in Ken Palm, a quad four team right now in my books. So a quad four loss on your resume is not a good way to start the year. Yeah, you lose freaking UT. They lost to UT Martin the first game of the year, 86-81. Beat UT Chattanooga 101-69. Then, but lose to Montana 102-93 in Vegas just 4 days ago on Tuesday. The thing that irritated me this game was, yeah, UNLV going on an 18-3 run in that first half, but UNLV also had 3 players out this game. I think 2 of them are starters, if I'm not mistaken. And then another thing, man, like you let a 5 foot, maybe 10 guard have 21 points in the first half, where he had like 8 or 9 rebounds alone in that first half, and he finished the game with a double double, 20 plus rebounds and 10 plus rebounds. Like, I don't know if you heard it or not in the pregame, but when they had practice this morning, Pastner was working on backdoor cuts, was working on sharing the basketball. He was buddy still running sets. And what did Penny Hardaway work on today? in the pregame or in warm-ups before the game?
Defense.
Defense. Where was the defense at today?
They were standing still like they
92 to
had cement
78.
in their
Scored,
boots because
yeah,
Josh Pastner's plan was to sit there and cut on them all day long, and it worked. He wore their ass out on that. Sorry, great point. Go ahead.
no. But man, 30 free throws to 26 free throws. You got out rebounded 36 to 32. We had 9 offensive rebounds. You had 8. 19 assists for UNLV to Memphis 13. 13 steals, Memphis 8. 3 blocks each. 18 turnovers to UNLV 14. 50 points in the paint, Wes. 50. And then second chance points, UNLV only had 5 for the game. And that's, like you said, the worst loss, losing by 14. Credit Josh Pastner and the whole staff and just to get them ready for this game. And like you said, a warm welcome back for you and Josh Pastner. But this loss is unexcusable on your resume. Any way you put it, in front of 5,000 maybe tops in attendance. No way there's 10,000, by the way, I might add too. But let's be real, man. Like, the thing that disappointed me, Ashton Hardaway needs to come off the bench. 19 minutes, 7 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, shooting the ball 5 times for the game. Um, Curtis Givens, yeah, like you said, decent game, 4 of 9 shooting, 10 points, 3 assists. McDaniel, 1 of 10 from the field. But the guy I want to bring up, Julius Stafford, played like a dog today. 16 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, but 5 of 8 shooting, 6 of 7 from the free throw line. He played like the All American Conference USA All American that we are familiar with when he played at Western Kentucky. He has to get the ball more. Talk about getting the ball. He didn't average 20 something points almost a game at Western Kentucky for a reason. But only getting 8 shots off, that's a disappointment in my books. And then you're making dumb fouls 85 feet away from the basketball goal. Just play normal defense.
Yeah,
But
fouls are a problem, man. Fouls are a
man, like
problem.
now
Yeah.
you gotta get ready for the best point guard in the country in Purdue,
Yeah.
who has like 3 7-foot guys. And Bradshaw,
Yeah.
so you might want to add that to the resume for Purdue. So the big man better be ready, and Aaron Bradshaw better not have no 2 fouls in the first 2 minutes like he did today, or it's gonna be a long game in the Bahamas. You might go 0-2 in the Bahamas. And I
Well, that's
might
what I
say
was
this:
about to say. Oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
you predicted to go. I have them going 7-6 in non-conference, but man, I'm not saying it's gonna be an easy win. But Alabama State beat New UAB. Tony Matlock, he's gonna get his guys ready for that game in Memphis in a couple, like next month. And I had them go over overall 18-13 overall this year. But right now, man, this loss stings and it hurts. And if you're Ed Scott, man, it's gonna be a rough next couple months for your job right now.
Well, I mean, he's probably tired of people seeing him on Twitter, I'm sure.
That too. But yeah,
Um,
that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be a long couple
that's
months
it's
if you're Ed
so
Scott.
that's so damn stupid. Do you really?
Yeah.
I mean, it's obvious that he does read because he does reply to people, but really you're gonna
Mhm.
see. I mean, there's people seeing him everywhere. I mean, it's just so funny to me. Look, here's the thing, man. Right now, the fouls are a problem. You're getting outworked. You're getting out coached. You're getting out hustled. You're getting out rebounded. Josh Pastner literally has his team running, and that's what he told the fans. Hey, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take this back to when it was Jerry Tarkanian and they were running up and down the court, and that's what he did. Go look at the fast break points and get back to me. Domination. Memphis was dominated today by UNLV. Period. They were out rebounded 18-12 at the break. But John, Memphis only led for 1.5 minutes. That's it. It's not a good loss. It's going to be one talked about in March. I don't think, based on how this team looks right now, they don't. I don't think they make March, meaning March Madness. And there's people out there that are like, "Oh, well, thank God the American sucks." Have fun. Point to a time where Penny's just ran through this conference. He hasn't. It's going to be very, very intriguing to watch how this team gels, if they can gel. Right now, they're playing bad defense together. And I mean, yes, 0 returning starters. This is Penny's handpicked team. And it's as it said plainly says on the screen, this is perhaps Penny's worst basketball team as a head coach at the collegiate level. And I don't know if he can coach his way out of this. But to your point about Ed Scott, if there's not tournament success here, we've got to have a hard conversation. And it's going to be the conversation that you and I had, 3-4 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
About it's either not going to be very pretty or it's going to be Penny steps away, because I don't think anybody's going to fire Penny Hardaway. We don't want a Larry Finch 2.0. There's some Memphis fans who don't even know who the hell Larry Finch is. Go hit up Google.
Oh.
But I'm telling you, if this season goes the way it looks like it's going to go as of right now, and I don't see any player on the team right now that's going to dig this team that I've seen so far. Now, I mean, maybe Doug's, maybe this is just an off night, and God, I hope it is. I don't know, man. I like I said, I don't know that I see anybody on this roster right now that is handpicked by Penny Hardaway. I don't know that I see anybody on this roster that can shoot, that can power, that can bully, that can work their way out of it. And I don't know if Penny can coach his way out of it.
The only part that comes to mind is Julius Stanford right now for me.
Yeah.
That's the only player.
And some people think he was projected to be an end of the bench player, which makes 0 sense. The guy's a baller. Penny went and got him. Penny's not going to go get a player in the portal to put him on the end of the bench. Let's just be honest here. No kid's going to come to Memphis and go, hell yeah, man, I'd love to come play for you and sit my ass on the end of the bench. No, nobody's going to do that. But, John, this has got to get fixed, because the next 5 games for Memphis is speed bump after speed bump after speed bump. It's going to be brutal. It's bumpy. It starts Thursday.
Okay, I know Penny did a zone defense for like a minute and a half. Why are you still doing man-to-man after that is beyond me. Why not try something different? Why not try to do a 2-3 zone? Why not try to do a 3-2 zone? Yeah, you made it like a 6-point game at one point in the second half. Then, we just hit big shot after big shot, big shot. But why do you have to keep on playing man-to-man? Especially when your guys are in foul trouble most of the dang game.
Dude,
It's hard to be a Memphis
I know they want
media
to play
fan right now. Let's just say that.
Well, I mean, man, so they've only played 4 games. But based on what I saw today, I don't think they win the American. And here's why. Because the target's on their back. They are the hunted. They're not hunting anyone. Everyone's hunting them. And more importantly, social media has made more people want to hunt them. Because people just get online and just make fake burner accounts and push fake narratives or, trash certain programs. I mean, when you look, here's the thing, man. When you have Memphis football players saying it's the same story every time that there's a loss for Memphis football, and that's been going since he played, and this is a player that played quite some time ago, it's nothing new. It's been happening, and it's a problem. But, man, look, here's the thing as we close, John. This has got to be this has to get fixed. Memphis football has to get fixed. Softball brought in 9 new. They're striping up for a new season under Trainer Prater. Volleyball, things are on the positive trend. Rifles playing well. Women's soccer's doing well, shooting well. Sorry, women's soccer's in the NCAA tournament. Memphis football's got a bye week, much needed. Women's basketball, I don't know. I don't know if they know.
Need to get some wins fast. Bottom line.
Very quick. And men's basketball, just buckle up. I mean, look, here's the thing. I'll close with this. I mean, like when I say I close with this, like literally, I'm going to close with this. When it comes to Memphis basketball, when your head coach says, quote, "We want all the smoke," you better be ready for it. Because if you're not, what happened today is going to continue to happen every team they play. And that's how we'll close tonight on the Tigers Den. Thank you to everybody watching and listening. Head over to 4star.live now for all of our content. Give us a like, give us a follow. For John Sturdivant, for all of us here at 4 Star Sports Media, I am Wes Pruitt. Appreciate everyone watching and listening.